I'm actually made an example video for you, and we are going to watch it, and I'm going to put together and show you in an example all the tips and tricks that we're going to go over today. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Alrighty, production. Again, like I said, production can kind of be a little bit of a scary word, but I promise you, having good production, having good quality is much more accessible than what you might think. I want to ease some doubt that you might have if you feel like you aren't very tech savvy, or you feel like you've never had any experience with video or anything like that. I want to assure you that you can probably do this most likely if you have two tools that you probably already have. And on the basic level, that's going to be a smartphone, and that's going to be a window. Now, like I said, I don't want quality to get lost in the sauce here. I don't want you to think that quality doesn't matter because you might not have hundreds or thousands of dollars to spend on equipment. That's totally okay. You don't have to have it. Quality does matter, but it's going to be much more accessible than what you might think. Now, whenever setting up a video, and for today's purposes, we're going to assume that you are using a cell phone as your camera, because smartphones are actually a very solid piece of equipment that you have in your pocket at all times, especially whenever it comes to camera quality. I have here a little phrase or a little acronym for you to remember, and it is S.L.A.B. S.L.A.B. If you have a cell phone and you remember S.L.A.B, you can get good quality content to post. So let's go ahead and figure out, well, what does S.L.A.B stand for? The first thing that we're going to talk about is steady. S stands for steady. And whenever I say steady, I mean obviously your camera. If you have a cell phone that we're using as your camera, the first thing you want to make sure that you're doing is you're finding a steady place for it to rest. Now, honestly, this can just be a box that you have sitting around. This can be a vase that you have sitting around. Whatever it is, it just needs to keep the camera steady. You can also, if you want to invest a couple dollars, you can go on Amazon and find some cheap options for a cell phone tripod. That's something that we utilize here, even in the Senior Marketing Specialist office. We use it quite often. Actually, in the example video that I'm about to show you, that's what I use in there. But if you don't have that, that's totally fine. Tissue box, whatever it is, keep it steady. Another thing to keep in mind whenever it comes to your camera angle that sometimes we don't think about is making sure that the angle is something that's flattering. Whenever you're keeping the camera steady, you want to make sure that it's not steady down here, but it's steady up here at eye level. So, S stands for steady, steady camera. Moving right along onto L. L stands for lighting. Now, lighting, I cannot express enough how important it is, because bad lighting will make a good quality video go down in quality very quickly. So make sure that you have proper lighting. Now, like I said from the beginning, all you need is a cell phone and a window, and I stand by that. If it is a nice, beautiful, sunny day, or you have a window that allows a lot of natural light in, use that window to your advantage. Honestly, natural light is one of the best lights you can get. It's not as customizable, but it is something that's very flattering on everyone. So, going through the first two letters here. You want a steady camera, go set it up in front of a window. Now, if you do want to invest a little bit more, there's kind of another option where you can go to Amazon and you can find some cheaper ring lights, and you can order those if that's something. Some attach right to your cell phone, some are a little bit bigger. That's going to allow you to customize the lighting a little bit more. But if you're not willing to invest any of your marketing dollars into that, that's totally fine. Find a window. Moving right along to A. A stands for audio. Now, audio, I would say, is probably the most important thing whenever it comes to video, at least in my opinion. And that's because I know that whenever I'm watching a video, Bad lighting is kind of annoying. Weird, steady moving camera is also kind of annoying. But the one thing that will make me turn off a video in an instant is really bad audio. It just does something to my brain that makes me not want to listen to it anymore. So audio is so important. Now, if you're using your cell phone to shoot your videos, your cell phone's going to have pretty decent microphones on it, right? That's kind of the main function of the cell phone, is to have good audio while you're talking. So if you use your cell phone audio, that's totally fine. No matter what, even if you invest in equipment, no matter what you do, you have to always make sure that you are testing your audio first. What I mean by that is whenever you sit down to record your video, what I want you to do is record 7 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever it is, just enough audio for you to hear what your whole video is going to sound like. Because whenever you're sitting down and you're recording a video, it is not in the front part of your brain. You're not thinking of the hum from the air conditioner in the back, the soft chatter that's happening in the back, the thunderstorm that's happening. Most likely you're not very conscious of that. And whenever you go back and watch the recording, you're able to notice that right off the bat. And those can be things that are very, very distracting. And having a distracting video is going to make the quality obviously a lot worse. Now, speaking of not being distracting, we're going to step right into B, the last letter, background. Your background does not have to be anything extravagant. It just has to be something that looks nice and clean, and it's not distracting. So, getting in front of a window that has a nice blank wall in the back, or a bookcase, or it can be your office, as long as there's nothing distracting in the background, like a bunch of papers on the desk, some people talking in the background. If you have like a TV or computer screen, nothing going on the computer screen or TV, that's going to take away from what you're saying, and the eye is just going to gravitate towards that, and you're not going to be able to watch anything else. So your background does not have to be anything extravagant, and it just has to be nice and clean and organized. So let's go ahead and quickly go back through that S.L.A.B, S-L-A-B. S stands for steady, steady camera. L stands for lighting. A stands for audio. And B stands for background. If you remember those 4 things in any video with any equipment at any time, at any level of expertise, you will be off to a good start of making good quality content.